Hello, and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. So, we're going to talk about Vechain again, and it's actually being mentioned in the National Infrastructure Commission of the United Kingdom, or the UK. The report is the future of freight and logistics, and they actually do mention Vechain in this type of report. If you look at the report, it's 122 pages long. I won't bore you with it, but it's in the technology and the evidence of effectiveness of a section on page 18. It says, but don't they do mention it, but don't get overly excited because the dates are very, very far off in the future for this report. And also them mentioning it here is basically just an example of things that are actually being trialed in the marine environment. I don't exactly know what that means. And there's plenty of examples where blockchain is being trialed, and Vechain is one of the supplier management platforms, along with DB Schnecker, that are actually being mentioned for the infrastructure and logistics of the UK. So it's on their radar. They might use it in the future, but then again, they might not as well. So at least I think they're kind of seeing it as an option, but it does not mean they are actually using it or will actually use it in the future. It's kind of like, XRP, or it's kind of like Ripple or Stellar being mentioned in certain documents of like the IMF. They're generally using it as an example. They don't mean they're using it right now or are going to use it in the future. And that's what this case is for Vechain. So basically, this is evidence of effectiveness on page 18. I will actually link this document in the description of this video. And it says, for supply chains, the benefit of a widely distributed database containing incorruptible records is considerable streamlining of the supply chain, resulting in considerable cost savings. Industry analysts see blockchain as a future essential technology and suggest that by 2043, so more than 20 years away, the fundamental drivers behind the value creation will be data and analytics, with companies that are able to utilize blockchain technology being able to outcompete their rivals. So they think all this stuff is going to be implemented on blockchain by 2043. But of course, 2043 is a very, very, very long time away. So don't get too excited about that yet. The main advantage is for administrative functions, but it could have an impact on the congestion by allowing for greater consolidation due to accurate shared information, quicker turnaround times, which improves congestion at access points at the point of delivery. And especially in the marine environment, there are plenty of examples where blockchain is being trialed, including. So I guess that means in the marine environment, Vechain's being trialed in something or other. I have no idea what that is. So it's including container logistics pilot, and that's Port of Rotterdam, Samsung SDS, and ABM AMRO. Port connectivity pilot associated with British Ports Marine Transport International. Completion of the world's first bunker delivery and transaction using blockchain. Good Fuels Marine. Supplier management system, and this is where Vechain is mentioned. DB Schnecker and Vechain. Efficient and secure global trade platform. IBM and Maersk. And shipment of almonds from Australia to Germany, Commonwealth Bank of Australia. I think these are some of the projects they're mentioning and some of the technologies and blockchains that are actually using in these things. So Vechain is one of the things that they're aware of. It's on their radar, and they actually might use it in the future in UK infrastructure because they do include it on this report. That is not a guarantee, but it's just something to think about, but it's not a guarantee. Like I said, this is like Ethereum, Bitcoin, Ripple, Stellar being mentioned once in some kind of reports for certain things. It does not mean that they'll actually be used. It actually means that they might be on the radar and they might consider it sometime in the future. So nothing I wouldn't say definitely don't buy anything, don't buy Vechain solely because of this, but it's something to keep in the back of your mind. And if there's something if there's a partnership in the UK that actually happens in the future with Vechain, don't be too surprised. It's a good sign. I wouldn't even say it's good news because it's not really news, but it's a good sign for Vechain. It's not like world-ending news or world-turning news, but it is a good sign that they do plan to implement it sometime in the future, which is what most of these actual reports are, regardless if they're from from an agency in the UK, the IMF, BIS, whatever. They're all kind of the same thing. They're oh, these are examples of technologies that have been implemented that we're aware of, that are out there, and Vechain is one of them, but that doesn't necessarily mean they endorse them or anything. So good for Vechain still, good for possibilities in the future, and just kind of a good shout out. So pretty cool nothing to get overly excited about, but pretty cool anyways. So that's the news for Vechain. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you and have a nice day.